Hello and welcome to our community forum with our mayor, Joe Preston. Mayor Joe, how you doing this week?
Wow, it's a fantastic week, except when you woke up this morning and looked outside.
Right? It was just snowing down. Jess was like, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, well, I had to get to City Hall and do some interviews pretty early this morning, and so it was one of those, geez, do I still have the snow brush in the car, or which car did I take the snow brush out of? But I did notice that, way to go, City Crews, because the snow was off the roads and the sidewalks by 11. They did a great job. Yeah.
Fantastic. I was like, I'm not leaving home. I'm gonna work from home today. Just not didn't happen.
Or maybe it got warm enough and it just melted off. And I don't know. With this spring, when do you take the snowplows off the snowplow trucks? I think it's warm enough now that even if it does snow, we can let it melt rather than us running all the machinery. But it just, I guess, I'm a bit jaded. I'm not as Canadian as I should be, I guess. I don't like snow this late in April, but I do remember one May 24th weekend where there was snow in the air. I don't think it was staying on the ground, but we were camping or something. And now I don't camp, and so I laugh at anybody who's camping on May 24th weekend, because the last number of them have been quite cold and wet. So not to laugh at you, it's laughing at you for fun, right?
Absolutely. Oh, we've got a question already from Mark McKnight. Yeah. Is there a service like VON, which is the Victoria Order of Nurses, to take residents to appointments in London over and back, especially those who don't drive or that have family and friends take them? Well, I know the VON does that, and they were looking for more volunteers earlier this year. I'm not sure of another service that would do it aside from, taxis that you'd have to pay.
I think there are some other volunteers that do, and those that could help us with that, certainly call the VON, and if it's a time they can't, they may be able to tell you who else does too. I thought at the senior center, I once heard of another volunteer group that helped with rides over to London medical appointments. So that'd be a great place to try. And Sharon says, hello, guys. Hello, Sharon. How are you today?
Sharon.
Hey, Sharon, we've got a job for you today. We don't have a trivia question prepared. And since you're our smartest trivia question answerer, your turn. See if you can type a trivia question in the chat for us, and it will be today's the last one for April, and we'll make the draw today, right?
Yep. And I think, Sharon, you might have 10 entries right now in the draw. I've got the app here. I just put all the app or the entries into the app. So I hope you win based on all of your answers. If you could provide us with your trivia question, that would be fantastic.
Please, or anybody who can. If we use one tonight and we get 3, we can save them for the next couple of Mayor's Updates. I had a very busy day today and forgot that I have to come up with something for Mayor's Update today. And I had Councillor Wookie with me today. I should have asked him. He probably had one. All right.
Former history teacher. Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to bet he does. Yeah.
Yep. So let's talk about the city cleanup, because we mentioned that over the past couple episodes. How's that going?
Well, first of all, it's growing. We've spread it out over 2 or 3 weeks now, and please, if you've got a community group that wants to do something in a little bit warmer weather, please wait and do it. It's okay. We'll let you help your community. So, whether it's a school group or a community group or a neighborhood group or just a family that's out trying to do it. Or I heard from another person today who just simply walks down the trails and takes a garbage bag with them this time of year, and so they can just pick up a little bit every day. So please, the mayor's cleanup, the city cleanup is still on. Please do it. If you need more supplies, contact Heather in the mayor's office. There's some great garbage bags and gloves and stuff there, and we are trying to reward everybody with a few hamburger coupons for helping too. So let's keep doing it. Mark Burgess, Councillor Mark Burgess, had a group of school kids out from Monsignor Morrison to a grade 2 and 3 and a 7 and 8, I think it was, and they had a lot of bags of garbage. Now, I think they went and did Waterworks Park, which is a great close to school and in need of that type of cleanup. So perfect. thank you. A lot of garbage bags and some really beautiful pictures. I should have sent them on to you, Grade, so we could put them on here tonight. But we'll save them all into the kind of the end of did we get St. Thomas cleaned up the way we wanted? What's a couple one here? Here's one from Sharon. What year was the old St. Thomas Church on Walnut Street constructed? When was it built? Now, Steve Peters would know that. And we'll know now within seconds whether Steve's on or not. And Margaret saved us another one for later. So
the first mayor of St. Thomas. So if you're watching next week, we'll ask that one. So if you figure it out.
Yes, it's not the best mayor of St. Thomas. That's current. But the first mayor of St. Thomas. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sharon, for helping us at that. We'll watch for the answers on that. And then we will actually make a good draw for for who wins. Thank you, Austin, for laughing at my joke. It's great. First of all, Graydon and I were having a quick chat before we came on, and we talked about how great it was to have the police chief last week. Mm-hmm. Chief Harrods did a great job and took almost an hour of our questions and time. So way to go, Chief, if you're watching tonight. Thank you for last week. And we know we have coming up a whole presentation of what downtown St. Thomas will be this year and how we're doing with the special constables and the cleanup team down there. But that's probably next week's show. Mm-hmm. You know what else is coming up in just over a week?
What's that?
The opening of the Horton Market.
Yes.
I can't wait. Right.
It's going to be so good.
And I get it. The first couple times at the market is just as much fun just to see old friends and people there. We really actually have to grow some things before we can have them at the market, I guess, right? But something else just went by here. Oh yes, the Salvation Army is having an emergency preparedness day. Did you read about that one?
No, I didn't.
It's a barbecue. It's a barbecue for the citizens of St. Thomas, and I think it's the May 3rd. I'm just opening it up now, and when it comes up, I'll be able to share it with you. And we also talked about we're into election season, and the first of the all candidates meetings, and there's a few of them planned already, but the first one is an all candidates night. It's at the library. It's being put on by the St. Thomas Coalition to End Poverty. And May 3rd at the library, Tuesday, May 3rd, from 6:30 till 8:30 in the Carnegie Room. They say 100 people. I say as many as you can get into the Carnegie Room. But a good conversation to start with. It's the Coalition to End Poverty is doing a lot. And of course, I know housing will be an issue. But it will also be a lot. So Faye Gallagher says they were at Waterworks on Sunday, and it was lovely to see so many people out there. Wasn't such a pleasant place this morning with the snow, but this coming Sunday we're back to pretty good weather. So, all right, here's the one. So also May 3rd between 5 and 7. So maybe you could go out for the barbecue and then head on over to the library for the all candidates meeting. But the Emergency Preparedness Week 2022 community event. So it's at the Citadel, the Salvation Army Citadel on Elm Street. They have that neat new emergency preparedness food truck too, and so I'm sure it will be there. And I think they've asked the City of St. Thomas Fire and Police to have some of their vehicles there. So this is to match to honor Emergency Preparedness Week. So I think I'll stop by. Nothing wrong with a good barbecue. So
absolutely. And Sue Bandine's mentioning the Railway City Rotary all-you-can-eat perch fish fry on Saturday, May 7th from 4:30 to 7:30 at the St. Anne's Center. And she's saying check out their Facebook page for ticket info. Lots of great info and prizes. They've got a fish pond and an auction table donated by their generous local businesses. And it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be great food. Come on out. I totally agree. It'll be fantastic.
Boy, we started with, gee, I don't know how much we have to announce. I better start off with the market to look at the help that our friends give us. Here's the other great things that are happening. Um, the 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 Beaver Group and the Cubs and some of the others have moved around their cleanup days so that they're not out in the snowfall or in some driving rain. So we've said yes, please, let's make it happen, but you can do it on the nights of your choice. So some of them are moving around.
Yep. And then we've also got, as we mentioned before, we've got a group that's actually helping sponsor our show, and it is the Drinking Habits, which is coming soon to the Princess Ave Playhouse, and it's sponsored by Williams Funeral Home. One of our
Perfect.
great local businesses, been around for a long time. So we're going to do more information on that. We're going to actually have them on the show, but it's June 2nd and 12th, 2022. So stay tuned for more details on that as well.
Right. Local theater. It's so much fun, and especially if you're doing local theater. I did a number of plays at the Port Stanley Festival Theater before and after becoming the Member of Parliament. But summer theater should be funny. It should be go out and sit down and have a laugh. And it sounds like Drinking Habits just might be just like that. So, but the Princess Ave Playhouse is a lovely place to watch too. So get your tickets early because it is not big, right?
Yeah.
Right? But it will be fun to watch a play there too. So
absolutely. Great. And then there's also the Beerlesque.
Oh yes.
And Carnival, which is on July 16th. So we'll talk about it multiple weeks, but we just want to give it a little heads up. You can buy tickets for that as well.
Yeah, start setting aside your time for some of these things. And of course, the nostalgia nights will happen again this summer. There is a number of things happening out there, folks. So please give your local service clubs a little help. Some of them are doing some pretty good events, like we just heard with the Railway City Rotary. And I know the Kinsmen, who do a lot of the fireworks sales, and the fireworks for Canada Day will be out just before the long weekend in May. So with the selling of fireworks, give them a hand and help our community let this service club do the great work that it does.
Absolutely. And then we had a media release come in as well from the Elgin County Railway Museum, which received $94,000 from the Ontario Trillium Fund as a grant to improve their virtual presence, which is absolutely fantastic news.
Yes, because we've been trying to work together with as many as we can on making the Railway Museum a more visitable place. It has a great display stuff with the old locomotives and cabooses and a lot of historic railway stuff. But so any help in helping that museum get a little bit better, thank you. Sorry, did you say the provincial government or a grant from
the Ontario Trillium Foundation?
Okay, yeah, okay, great, perfect. Yep. Gambling money going to the right thing.
So, yeah, that's always a little bit controversial where the money comes from, the Ontario Trillium Foundation, but there you go.
If that's where, if the province can collect it and redistribute it in that way, what a great thing to do. Perfect. Especially,
and they're going to take it and make a virtual education program, so you can do tours of the museum, which is pretty exciting. So anyway, stay tuned for more of that stuff. Perfect. I'm sure they'll be on here chatting about how that's going to look.
We should have, we see this almost every week, but we should have someone from the Railway Coalition come on Mayor's Update and tell us all the neat things that they're doing, including, what all the work that's been done at CASO, all the work that's done at the Railway Museum, and of course the elevated park. So
yes.
So we'll have a great, we promise you sometime through the summer when we're talking about murals and parks, we'll have someone on from the Railway Coalition too. Did we get an answer for when was the old St. Thomas Church built? You're stumping people. That's great.
I'm sure one of our viewers will figure it out soon. You were mentioning there was a water shortage over the past week.
Well, Sunday we replaced a pump. The city of St. Thomas and the secondary water system replaced a pump as part of the secondary system. Now we have the main system of water that comes through St. Thomas, but we also have a secondary system that helps feed, I think, out to the west, Dutton and Southwold and the like. And this pump was replaced, but while was pumping back up. It took a while for the water pressure to get back, and many people woke up Monday and found, hey, my shower's not waking me up this morning. So just to let you know, it's all well, and it is now working great. But it was a piece of work that needed to be done so that we wouldn't have a pump failure and a complete lack of water. So yep, it's done. And a lot of conversation and a few phone calls to the mayor first thing Monday morning to let you know it's okay. It's okay. We'll forgive you if you have just a little less of a shower today, but we're pumping the water back up to pressure as quickly as we could. And thank you to the City Works people, I guess, who worked all Sunday night Sunday and Sunday night to replace this pump so that it would be back working by Monday morning. So,
right. Wow. Yeah, well, it's good. I'm glad to hear it's not going to be a permanent issue for anyone who's experiencing that, because low pressure water is not a fun thing to have in the shower in the morning.
No.
I also want to mention the Impact Awards that we had last week. They're absolutely fantastic. So on Thursday, our business community got together for a massive celebration. We had music by Jennifer Castle, which was phenomenal. We had a comedian. Now, we mentioned also that the comedian was we teased that the comedian was shifting because Brent Butt actually got COVID. So the day before everything was happening and we prepped everything for Brent Butt, we got a call from the publicist saying that he wasn't able to make it because he got COVID and he couldn't fly in from Vancouver. So kudos to Paul Jenkins, the CEO, because he basically jumped right on that and found another comedian to bring down. And it was a comedian that's previously worked on Still Standing, which is a show I'm sure you saw that featured Port Stanley earlier this past year, and he brought the house down. So
I heard he was quite funny, and oftentimes that happens when you're expecting someone else, and through because this time because of COVID it couldn't happen, but the other comedian I thought I heard did a great job of filling in and really doing St. Thomas proud. So okay, so Margaret McKnight says 1824 and 1825 it was completed. Is that the old church?
Sharon will have to answer that for us because she's got the numbers. And then once we have that, we can do our draw.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was, to go back to the Impact Awards, it was kind of funny because he had a whole, half of his whole thing was on home renovations and how, over COVID, he really went after Home Depot, right? And he's like, you can do it, we can help is their slogan. Right. And he was like, how amazing is that? Most of these people can't do it, and the people at Home Depot can't actually help. And that he just went off on the tangent about this, because I'm sure not around St. Thomas, of course, because we have amazing home hardware where you can go in and will help you because they've been working.
Gearlings will help you with starting your car. They're a very helpful store over at our home hardware. You're right.
100%. But if you go into London to the Home Depot, that's exactly the kind of issue you've got up there. I dare you to try and find somebody that can help you, because I don't know, I've been in there and I haven't been able to do it. And I'm pretty resourceful. I'm a visual guy, but I think they changed their shirts. I don't know. But
no, well, I'm not handy. It's taken a number of years for me to actually admit I'm not handy, and I can buy the tools and I can buy the stuff, but I never seem to be able to do the thing. So I hire pretty well. Yeah. I need a deck built. I'm hiring a deck guy. Something's wrong with one of my sinks. I'm hiring a plumber. It just works out better for me and a lot less work if I do that properly. But just like most, I love wandering through hardware stores, whether it's our Gearlings Home Hardware or any others. It's the gadgets and stuff that are available for those that are handy is quite fun to watch.
I have bought so many things there, Joe.
Yeah.
I have, because they'll go on sale. And well, I want this thing, and then I might use it once, and then
it was on sale.
Yeah.
I get that a lot with a lot of things that Stephanie buys, but it's okay. It's always good stuff. Right?
No, it is. And also our local Canadian Tire is the same way. They'll have different things on sale there, and then and I've got it. And maybe, you know what? I have a great tool chest as a result of that.
Well, you're prepared.
Yeah, that's for sure.
One day
I'm a prepper.
Yeah.
All right. I'm putting Margaret's name into the trivia draw application here.
Perfect. I'm going to cover a few things off that happened at council last Monday night. Not this Monday. We did not have council this week, but because the chief was on and spent time last year, it wasn't a year ago. It was just last week, right? We said we'd talk a little bit about what happened at council then. So let's get back here. So the first thing we did, one of the neat things we did, and we're going to do a bunch more of this at council coming up, is to start the last council meeting. We did a city council's acknowledgement of Ray Omerod, the fire chief now, the fire chief for Central Elgin. But he was our deputy fire chief and had been hired by Central Elgin when our chief left. And this is in COVID, and you cannot not have a fire chief. Somebody has to be designated. And Chief Omerod gracefully said, I can do both. With help, we can make this work. And so we did. So we thought one of the first people we should recognize about what's happened in the last 2 years was Chief Omerod. So we had him at council last Monday and recognized him as one of the local heroes for what had to happen over the last 2 years. He was, of course, also our emergency officer for any declared emergency, and so that's really gave him double or triple duty through that period of time. And we thank him and we miss him. We know that he's doing a great job over at Central Elgin, and we still get to see him often enough. So that was the first thing that happened at council, and that's what we'll be doing now. Is the honors and awards system at the city. We tried to change, and then we had a pandemic, but we will be now recognizing 1, 2, or 3 people at the first council meeting of every month to recognize the great things they've done for St. Thomas. There is nomination forms on our website if you have somebody who you'd like to nominate as one of these people. Sometimes it'll be in the past, we recognized Gordy Mitchie as he went off and won some gold medals as a Paralympic, and those types of things. But there's many local heroes too, and we want to recognize them. So please nominate a friend, nominate somebody you're looking for, and we'll over the next little while get caught up on these recognitions at the start of council. So what happened next at that meeting? We are moving forward into a next generation 911. You'll remember when we first got 911 and we went through most of rural Ontario and put up 911 numbers so people could find your house and such. But almost everybody in those days had a home phone. Well, now a lot of houses don't have a home phone. They have this. They have their personal phone with them. So the next generation 911 helps us identify who's calling, and that's working. And we had a report from the police chief on that. We talked about the job fair that also happened last week. Graydon, the
job fair is amazing.
Yeah, a great number of people and a lot of jobs sitting there at the Elgin Center. Well, the city had agreed that we would cover the fare boxes on the buses for the 6 hours of the job fair, and so that went through council last week. We talked about the Animal Service Center. We got that piece in last week, and so a great donation from the Tear family and $1 million towards our animal center. And we're moving very quickly to get that done now, get the architect plans done and get the building started. We now can do it. We said we needed to raise some money. Thank you so much. You've been over the top, right? With what we've been able to do, getting this started now because of that donation.
And for anyone who didn't hear that stuff, it's going to go in beside the ball diamond, the Doug Terry Ball Complex.
Yeah, between where the baseball diamonds are and Southdale Road, there was a soccer field there. It's big enough for a dog park and the animal control building, and it will be just a lovely place for it. What else? We had some more community grants announced. We keep a little bit of money aside for things, and I know that we talked. There was a community grant application from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and
Mhm.
we were able to award that. It didn't quite fit the mold, but we said this is important enough, and we need to do that.
They're going to put in another room that is basically like COVID friendly. It sounded like in the report.
Right.
Like,
So good for them, and
Hmm.
council decided. Thank you, staff, but yeah, we think we should award this too. So it was done.
Mhm.
Just scrolling through the agenda because it was still on my computer. Um, Nothing on here that isn't also good. So St. Anne's Festival
Mhm.
uh, was from June 1st to June 4th. So that's coming up fairly soon too. But we have to give approval as a citywide festival so that they can do more things with it. So yes, we said yes to that. And let's just stop there. That certainly looks like. Oh, and we changed our own emergency orders because
Hmm.
we removed our emergency declaration, which
Mhm.
put us back to the bylaw that council used to have to work by, which meant we couldn't use electronic means of communication because we never did before the
Mhm.
pandemic. So what we've added back in is a multiple way of holding council meetings. If a
Like
councilor
a
is,
hybrid system.
yeah, hybrid, so we're going to be holding them all from the council chambers, but
Mhm.
because we're still not yet inviting everybody back in there, we can do deputations by Zoom, or a councilor who's not present can be present by Zoom. So we've given it a hybrid method
Oh,
to
wow.
council. Yeah. So
So
we think that.
you're not just broadcasting from there. You're actually allowing people to come in virtually.
Yes, and
Wow.
we have been because
Yeah.
we stream that anyway, and you can come in as a observer, not as a participant to the meeting.
Mhm.
But now we're adding in some neat new things where if someone has a deputation that they want to give to city council and it is the right day we can do it, then they could also do that electronically rather than coming to council chambers to do it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
quite progressive.
oh, sure.
Yeah.
The mayor, he's such a techie, he can do it. No, I'm just we've got great people doing this. So, uh,
All right. Well, I think we're ready for. I've got everything entered into the draw here.
all right. Well, you do that. Let's do that.
All right. This is it. This is for the jumbo fine art canvas print. Any draw. It's gonna go. Wow. It's doing this a little. Sharon did win.
We thought Sharon would win. She had enough. Yeah.
I don't even know how many entries. She had a lot of entries.
Way to go, Sharon. So
Sharon,
this was one of
congratulations.
your prints of Jumbo, right?
Yeah, this is the second run because I sold out the first. So
Oh, perfect.
it's fantastic. And I
All right.
got everyone their prints from the last one. And yeah, congratulations.
Great. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for all your help and your trivia help today. So perfect. You will contact Graydon, and he will arrange how that's going to work. So
Mhm. Yep, and I managed to get everybody else all their things. So yeah, this is the next one. All right. The Easter. Have I talked about the Easter egg hunt? Because it was phenomenal.
I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pounds and pounds of eggs and kids running everywhere. Jess and I went with Liliana. We were a
Yeah.
little bit late because Liliana was sleeping. We didn't want to wake her up for a nap.
Right.
But we
Yeah.
did get there and we got our photo with the bunnies. And they were mentioning while we were there that the bunnies were getting quite tired because I think they were sitting there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something with photos. And they never had it that crazy. And I mean, I don't want to take responsibility for that.
The real Easter bunny.
Yeah.
We get the real Easter bunny to come here to take photos. That's incredible. It is St. Thomas. That's way to go. But Liliana had fun, or was she a little bit fearful of the bunnies?
She wasn't fearful. She was just trying to hang out with mom and dad the whole time. So like we'd sit around. She was like,
"No, yeah, I don't want to." Yeah.
So I don't know.
And you went out and searched for eggs for her, did you?
No, we didn't. All the eggs were gone by the time we got there because we were a little bit later. So no eggs. Otherwise, yes, I would have searched them. And since she can't eat chocolate, I would have ate them on her behalf as
Oh,
well.
see, that's what I was hoping. Yeah, that
Yeah.
you'd be the best dad and protect her in every way that dads are supposed to do that. Yeah, you're there. That's good.
100%.
Yeah.
But I did think it was funny that there were so many kids lined up for pictures, because that's one of the things we've been advertising over the past like 2 weeks on the mayor's update, is that everyone could get their picture of the Easter bunnies. And then I was talking to Matt Sharp, because I gave him his canvas print that he
Right.
won on a previous draw.
Right.
And he was like, I don't know why there are so many people for pictures right now. Like, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we didn't cause that. No, we might have suggested it to a couple people who was just on air when we did it. Right.
Just several. Yeah, just one or two. So it's pretty funny.
Well, that's great. We've shared a number of great events this week. By the time we get to next week, there will be another council meeting that we'll have that to discuss. What we're hoping for, folks, though, is a lot more municipal, city, mayor kind of questions.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the show, and I know that sometimes after the show's done, as somebody watches it on a replay, I then get questions and comments from them. But the other thing I have to say a lot still on social media is, we're on every Wednesday night. If you want to ask that question of the mayor, please come on, right? Because sometimes I get tagged in a question or something on social media, and it's days before I get back to it, because I don't just spend all day on St. Thomas happenings.
What?
I know.
Everyone else does.
Hard to believe, but I just don't. I have actual other things I have to do at City Hall. But so please, Wednesday nights, tell your friends. Wednesday night, we're on here. You want to ask the hard questions of Graydon, he's right here. I'm looking for the softer questions, but yeah.
Your hard art-related questions.
Yeah, the art-related questions he'll handle all of, and I will handle the city ones. Yes. So please. And Austin is suggesting some of the nicer groups in St. Thomas on social media, but they're not the ones who seem to ask me questions. So I'd love it if anyone could come on Mayor's Update Wednesday nights and ask us about, got a question about a park or a street or a pothole or anything else we do. Okay. Faye is asking a great question. Can an update about the bus service to London? And fairly timely, because Amazon started talking about it yesterday. Apparently, we can now say that it's Amazon.
I know, right? It just popped up, and I was like, "Oh, is this okay?"
They weren't admitting it was them until this week. So yes, we're continuing to work with the City of London, and now what we've been waiting for is the couple of industries that will really need this help on a bus service to London or passing by Amazon or passing by Maple Leaf Foods. So we're working together with all of them. I understand the County of Elgin is also taking some strides. So let's hope we'll all work together to make this work. Sooner rather than later. As you know, I was on a larger task force, and we've said that regional transportation is the way to go. We've handed that to the minister, so we think we'll get there now. I would expect before the end of summer, but I thought before Christmas we'd get it done. So you can't always go by what Mayor Joe thinks.
I had a question about the job fair, and if they were able to fill all the roles that people were looking for there. And I don't know if they'd be able to answer that right out of the gate, just because it takes a while for the hiring process.
Yeah, some of them require more than just handing in a resume. There's interviews and such. I know Amazon announced afterwards they're looking for 2,000 people. They would have taken some resumes at that job fair, so I would not think all of the jobs are filled. I would think everybody still has more jobs, to be done, to be filled across. And good 50 employees were at the job fair. So employers were at the job fair. So, yeah.
And then Margaret McKnight is wondering about how many dog parks are there in the city, including the new one that's going to be built.
Well, I know of the one in the north end by the Don Patterson.
Yep.
Right. And the new one in the south. But if I'm mistaken, I'll apologize, but I thought there was one in the west.
Yes, I believe over by Jumbo somewhere.
Yeah, right. So we'll find the exact address of that and share that with you, because I can't I know of the new one will be in the south, the other one's in the north, and I thought that one was in the west. And I don't believe it's closed, although I think it was closed for a little bit of time this spring because of how muddy it was.
Yeah.
Lions Park, west of Jumbo. Thank you, Sue. Off Stanley Street, Sharon says. By Jumbo. Yes, great. I've not taken JoJo to that park. We've gone to the one in the north. So, and Faye says, I was at the job fair and it was great. Thank you to saying that. Julian, we haven't seen you for a while. Good to have you on tonight. Thanks.
Hey, Julian.
What else have we got?
I think that's
great.
We went through our agenda.
Questions. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's another good one. All right.
What else have we got to cover?
I think we've covered it all, Mayor Joe.
All right.
For now.
Well, then we'll see you all next week. We've stolen a couple more trivia questions out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ready, even if I don't think of one for next week. But next week at 6:30, tell your friends, please come on and watch Mayor's Update. I know that there's a number of people here we don't see comments from because it's a lot like when I used to have the radio show on my FM. I'd sit there doing the radio show and wasn't sure if anybody was listening, right? And then I would say, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. And I'd leave and I'd go to the Tim Hortons and they go, hey, I just listened to you in my shower. No, I mean, I was in the shower and you were on the radio. And I hear the same thing here. We do the show every Wednesday night. And then we hear afterwards of all the people who listened and liked it. We do have a number on here. So I guess we should keep doing it. But let's get more people on and get their questions answered. Maybe they'll be a little less negative about our community and get the answers directly from the mayor.
100%.
All right. Well, thank you all. We're out.
Cheers, guys.